Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we saw that whatever our thought is at the time of when we leave the body, at the time of death, that's what we attain, right? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejat ande kalaivaram tam tam evaidika undeya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. And also, it is said, Anta Kalesha, Mameva Smaran Muktva Kalaivaram. So Krishna says, at the end, they should remember Krishna. And how is that possible? By Abhyasa Yoga, by practice. Otherwise, it's not possible to remember Krishna suddenly. But Ajamala's case is different, right? Why was Ajamala's case different? He was doing sinful activities throughout his life, right? And how was he able to remember Krishna? Yes. Hi, Krishna.
Mataji, by God's grace, he kept his child name as Narayana.
Yeah.
And so that, at the time of death, when Yamdutta came to snatch his soul, he started shouting his son's name Narayana. That Vishnudutta heard that, and they came, and there was a argument between Yamduttas and Vishnuduttas. But anyway, Vishnuduttas won, and they have advised him to go for meditation and
Haridwar. He went to Haridwar. Okay, so that means he didn't remember Krishna, right? It was not Ante Narayana Smriti. He was remembering his son. So when Ajamala kept his son's name Narayana, at that moment, at that very moment, actually all his sins were destroyed, it is said. Okay, so at that very moment. But Krishna didn't want to exaggerate the glories of the holy name because normal people cannot understand that. And Ajamala called Narayana in which way? In which type of chanting was that? Ajamala called Narayana, right? That was which type of chanting? There are 3 types of chanting, no? What are they? 3 levels of chanting. Or 3 types. Nobody knows?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I know 3 types of, but I don't know which Ajamil say. Nama Bhas, Nama Prad, and Nama Shuddh Nam.
Good. Okay, and also there is loud chanting, mental chanting, and soft chant. So as Mother said, Nama Aparad. Nama Aparad means chanting with offenses. The 10 offenses is there, so we chant with offenses. Nama Apasas, we correct the offense and chant. And Shuddha Nama is pure name of Krishna in love. So Ajamala was chanting in Nama Abhas. Actually, he didn't do any offense because he never associated with devotees. He never chanted the holy name. So he never associated with devotees, and because of that, he did in Nama Apas. And so we add that name Narayana was so powerful that yes, and also he got the intelligence. Krishna himself, in form of a sadhu, gave him the intelligence to keep his son's name Narayana. So that is Krishna was doing a pastime just to show the example that even a sinful person at the time of death, if he could utter Krishna's name, he can be. He didn't deliver him immediately. Some people think that Ajamala went back to Godhead just by calling Narayana at that very moment. No, he got a second chance, which most of us will not use in a proper way. I know one devotee, he was chanting 16 rounds. And he was with us for 2-3 years of online association. He got an attack, he got a stroke, and he was kind of paralyzed. But somehow, Krishna's mercy, actually, he overcame it, and he's fine now. But then what happened? His family pressurized him so much that, see, you were chanting Hare Krishna, and this happened to you, that happened to you. And he completely stopped chanting, completely left all our groups. He's not with us anymore. He's not, in the sense, he's not associated with us anymore. So he's getting a second chance now to do devotional service more, to chant more intensely. But what happened? He got misled. He went back to Maya. But Ajamala didn't do that. What did Ajamala do? He went to Haridwar and Haridwar or Rishikesh, Haridwar, and then started chanting the holy name of the Lord intensely, and finally could go back. So in the 15th sloka, Krishna says, Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam shashvatam napnavanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gada. After attaining Krishna, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary material world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. So this material world is called Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Dukhalayam. Why did Krishna create this material world full of miseries? Why did Krishna make it Dukhalaya? Okay, you can raise a digital hand. Sharanya Mataji, yeah, you can say.
Mataji, because we are very jealous of Krishna, so we came into this world.
That's fine. We came to this world because we were jealous of Krishna. We want to enjoy without Krishna. We want to load it over material nature. We misuse our independence. But Krishna could, we wanted to enjoy now. So Krishna could have made it a better place here. But why he made it Dukhalaya? Rajalakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, so that we can remember him.
So that we can remember him. Deepti Mataji. What else?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, so that we can understand this is the not the place we belong and this is the not a place we should live.
To make us realize, otherwise we'll be comfortable here. And Sharan Prabhu says to give us a second chance. Yes, to give us a second chance. This is like a jail. This material world is compared to a jail because in jail also the people repent for what they have done, right? What mistakes they have done, they repent for that sin. So similarly, this material world is a place, Dukhalaya. Why? Because so that we can repent for our sins. If we are full of Sukhalaya, so much of happiness, if all of us are rich, all of us are well educated, all of us have everything in our life, and there is no problem at all, then some of them will definitely go to spirituality, but most of us will be lost in sense gratification, that we forget Krishna and we won't remember, or we won't feel like going back to him. We feel like settling down in this material world, and again we get bored in this material contamination, or we'll be here only. We will never try for spiritual perfection because we are so happy in the life. That's what most of the people, they are supposed to be born in a good family, rich family, so that they can continue from where they stopped in their devotional life. But in fact, Maya tricks them and then they are lost, right? So Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. So great souls who go back to Krishna will never return back. Okay, so we have come from this material, from the spiritual world. So once we go back, we won't come back. Why? Again, we might do some sin, right? So why is Krishna saying, Yat Katvan Nivartande Tad Dhamam Paramama? Once you go there, there's no coming back. But we have come from spiritual world, right? So why do you say, how do you say that we'll never come back again? Dipti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, we have some memories now, like we desire for that, and so like how for the million lives we have suffered, and that memory remains with us maybe, and so like so with that realization, so we don't commit again that same sins.
So that means, as Mataji said, like you have gone to a kitchen and you have you're making hot puris or something. And then what happened? The hot oil, the boiling oil fell into your hand and the full hand got burnt. Next time when you enter into the kitchen in your life, you'll be extra careful, no, double careful. When you get burned with an iron box, you'll double careful next time because you have already gone through that pain and suffering once. So we have already gone through 84 lakh species of life, and the subtle body is going with mind, intelligence, and false ego. It will remember all these memories of difficulties in the material world. And if we are about to do any sin in spiritual world, we know once, okay, only perfect soul will go back. That means they'll never do mistakes. If at all, like Jaya Vijayas, they were in spiritual world, but they came back to the material world. So Krishna is showing that, and just an example that if at all we did some sin again, we'll never come back. Why? Because we have this bad memories. Jaya Vijaya's case is different because they wanted to do pastime with the Lord as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Shishupal, Dandavakra, and Ravana and Kumbhakarna. So that case is different. But our case is like once we have bad experience in the material world, so we'll never be ready to come back again. Yeah. So Krishna has promised it. Yes. So he has promised that he will never come back. And that's truth. So Mahatmas, a great soul, they attain the Supreme Lord Krishna directly. That means they go to the highest perfection and they never fall down from the highest Vaikuntha planet. and no return to temporary world because the material world is full of miseries and they have attained highest perfection. So Vedic literatures describe the supreme planet as Avyakta, Akshara, and Paramgati. Avyakta and Akshara means the planet beyond our material vision and inexplicable. And Paramgati means the supreme destination, that is destination for Mahatmas. So Prabhupada describes Mahatmas as Mahatmas receives transcendental message from the realized devotees and thus gradually develop devotional service and Krishna consciousness, become so absorbed in transcendental service that they no longer desire elevation to any material planets, nor do they even want to be transferred to the spiritual planet. They only want Krishna and Krishna's association. So a pure devotee doesn't even want to go back. He's happy wherever he is. Narayana parasar vena kudashana vidyati swarga apavargana regeshu api tulyata darshana. Pure devotee sees swarga, apavarga, naraga, heaven, hell, and liberation as equal. Api tulyata darshana. He sees everything equal because for him, devotional service is important. So in 8.16, Krishna says about the glories of Lord Krishna's abode. Brahma bhuvanar loka punaravartinojna mamupetu kaundeya punarjanmana vidyatu. From the highest planet in the material world down to the hellish planet, the lowest planet, everywhere there's a place of repeated birth and death. But one who attains Krishna's abode never takes birth. Punarjanmana vidyate. So even Brahma's world. Okay. So what is the proof? How do we know that even Brahma's world there is Punarjanma? Any hint from the Shastra? Even in Brahma's world. Which pastime? Somewhere to prove that yes, Brahma himself said actually. Yeah, Sharanya Mataji, you know?
In Brahma Vimohana Leela Mataji, Brahma is saying the prayers to Krishna, no?
Yeah, but there is he saying that there is Punarjanma in Brahma's world. Rajalakshmi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hiranyakashipu when did the tapasya and asked for Ambaratva. Then he said, I myself is my life.
So you have a strong memory power. Good. So yes, Mataji says, yes, when Hiranyakashipu prayed to Lord Brahma to give, what is it? He wanted immortality, right? He didn't want to die because he wanted to kill Vishnu, who killed his brother Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyakashipu, when he did tapasya for so many years, and when Brahma was pleased and he appeared, Hiranyakashipu asked immortality first. So Brahma, what did Brahma reply? I can't give you immortality because I myself died. So Brahma also has 311 trillion million years. He also has a lifespan. Brahma is a position, right? A post. So if nobody is qualified to become Brahma, Lord Vishnu himself can become Brahma. So the most pious living entity in the world, in the three worlds, become Brahma because there's a highest material plan. And even there is birth and death. Old age and disease is not there in the spiritual world, right? Why? The repeated birth and death is there in the spiritual world. I mean, not spiritual world, heavenly planets. Neetu Mataji?
Mataji, because they got nectar from the
Samudra
Samudra Manthan, yeah.
Yeah, the churning of the milk ocean by Tanvantara Murti. So they got that nectar, Amrita. So because of that, there is no old age and disease, but there is birth and death, right? Birth and death is there. So all kind of yogis, karmis, jnanis, hatha yogis have to come to Krishna consciousness before they can go to Krishna's abode. Those who attain highest material planets, the planets of demigods, are subjected to repeated birth and death. Again, they fall down. Brahma bhuvanar loka punaravartinojana. So if we did so much punya also, and you go to heavenly planets, still we have to come down. And it's like a visa. So once the visa period is over, you have to exit the country. In the sense, you have to come down. Similarly, once the punya is over, you have to fall down to the material world. And from here only, we can do devotional service and go back. In heavenly planets, there's so much of sense gratification. There is apsaras and gandharvas and somaras that we won't feel like doing devotional service there. Okay, so how to achieve the topmost planets in the material world is by sacrifices. And Brahma, and the fate of Brahmaloka is that those who progress in Krishna consciousness on highest planets are gradually elevated to higher and higher planets, and at the time of the universal devastation are transferred to the eternal spiritual kingdom. So Prabhupada quotes from Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan's commentary, when there is a devastation of material universe, Brahma and his devotees who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness are transferred to the spiritual universe and to specific spiritual planets according to their desires. So they'll go back. because they are devotees of the Lord, right? So if you are able to do devotional service in the heavenly planets, then definitely you go back. Otherwise, there's no going back. Okay, so 17th to 22nd sloka is the comparison between material world and the spiritual world. Okay, so 17th and 19th to 19th is about the lifespan of Brahma explained. Sahasra Yuga Paryandam Ahar Yad Brahmano Vidu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Te Aho Ratra Vidho Jana. By human calculation, 1,000 ages taken together from the duration of Brahma's one day, and such also is the duration of his night. So here it says one kalpa means one day of Brahma, that is 12 hours of Brahma, and that equal to one night. Okay, so means one kalpa, okay, one day of Brahma. Okay, and also it is said that one kalpa is 1,000 yuga cycle. Yuga means the Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. So total duration is 4,32,000 years of Kali Yuga, and double is Dwapar Yuga, triple is Treta Yuga, and 4 times is Satyuga. And so lifespan of Brahma is 100 years, that is 311 trillion and 40 billion earth years. That's the lifespan. So Prabhupada writes, from these calculations, we can know that even though Brahma has a long lifespan, still there is a death for the Brahma. So that means even in higher planets, there is death. So what is the use of going to that planet? It is like you've rushed to the airport and somehow there was traffic and somehow you took a taxi and you went and there was a big security check-in and somehow you rushed and through and finally you are in the check-in area somewhere there and then you forgot your passport if it's an international flight. And then can you go back again because the flight is about to take off? So that is the condition in going to heavenly planets. By the time you go there and you enjoy and everything, it's time to come back. So what is the use of going to heavenly planets? So duration of the material universe is limited. Brahmaloka, if compared to material planets, it's not free from birth, death, old age disease. Say, old age disease is there, not there, but birth and death is definitely there. And who goes to Brahmaloka? Elevated sannyasis. And fate of Brahma is that because of the service of the Lord, he gets liberation because he's a pure devotee. Even after Brahma Mohan Leela, Krishna himself comes and Brahma goes to meet Krishna and Krishna make Brahma very humble, right? So it says, Bhuta Bhutva Praliyate, means repeated creation and destruction keep happening because of being captivated by the illusionary energy, the external energy of Maya of the Lord. An annihilation at Brahma's night, all living entities remain compact in the body of Vishnu. And again, they manifest at the arrival of day. At the end of Brahma's life, all living entities remain unmanifest for millions of years. And again, they get manifested into another millennium. So there are different types of devastation, total devastation, partial devastation. You need not bother this so much. This all explanation will come in Bhagavatam when you go in detail in the second canto about creation and everything. So intelligent people take to Krishna consciousness because they want to overcome the repeated rebirth, no more rebirth. And they do devotional service and chanting Hare Krishna. And they're transferred at the end of this life to the spiritual planet of Krishna and become eternally blissful. Okay, so that's what 18th also said. Avyakta Vyakta Sarvaha Prabhavandi Aharagame Ratri Agama Pralayam Te Tatra Vaktam Samajnyake. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest stage, and thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again. And so again and again, repeated. Punarabhicharanam, Punarabhimaranam, Punarabhichadati, Sharadi, Shayana. Again and again, we are born in this material world. Bhutagramasa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate ratri agame eva shapata prabhavati aharagame. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being, and with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. So this is what keeps happening. So 2021 describes the spiritual world. How is the spiritual world in Brahma Samhita? How is the description of the spiritual world? Does anyone know? Brahma Samhita describes about spiritual world, right? The first sloka. What is it? Chintamani pragara salpa dukalpa vriksha laksha vadeshu surabir apipalayanam Lakshmi sahasra sadasam brahma sevyamanam govindamadi purusham ekhamaham bhajami. So Chintamani pragara salpa dukalpa vriksha. So the spiritual world is full of touchstones. Chintamani stone, touchstone. And kalpa vriksha. Kalpa vriksha means desire tree. Desire tree means what? That tree can give you any type of fruit. It can give you strawberries, can give you watermelon, or any kind of trees, any kind of fruits. That's what is Kalpavriksha. And Lakshavadesha Surabhi Rabipalayanam. The Surabhi cows full of milk. So there's a lot of cows and there is milk pouring. And Lakshmi Sahasra Sadasambhav say thousands of Lakshmis are serving the Lord in Govinda Madhipurisham. So that's what the spiritual world is. Okay, full of Chintamani stone. So Krishna's spiritual world is described here in the 2021 sloka. Parastasmastu bhavanyo avyakto vyakta sanadanaha yasa sarveshu bhudeshu nashtyastu naminashyati. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal. Let's translate to its this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. So spiritual world is eternal. That means free from birth and death. It's infallible. What is another name of Krishna? Because he is infallible. Put in the chat. Type in the chat. Another name of Krishna because he is infallible. The spiritual world is also infallible. Krishna is also infallible. Yes, everyone knows. Achyuta. Yeah, Achyuta. Krishna is called as Achyuta. So because he is infallible and because Krishna's superior energy is opposite to the material energy in quality and full of unlimited bliss. There's so much of happiness. And Anandambudi Vardhanam, as opposed to the material world, which is full of miseries. All opposite. Urdha Mula Mata Shakam, right? It's material world is an inverted banyan tree. That's what 15th chapter says. And fulfills all desire, Kalpavriksha. And all attractive it is. And manifested to mundane eyes. So transcendental to manifest and unmanifest. So actually these are things seen in the spiritual world, especially even in this the dhams in the material world like Mayapur, Vrindavan, Jagannath Puri, all this should not be seen with mundane eyes. And it's a supreme destination, a place of no return. Once going there, no more coming back. So Prabhupada writes in the 21st purport, Avyakto akshara idhi uktas tam ahu paramam gatim yam prapyam nanivartande tadhama paramam mama. So that which the Vedanta is described as unmanifest, infallible, just known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained, one never returns, that is Krishna's supreme abode. So that is Krishna's abode. The supreme abode of Krishna is described in Brahma Samhita as Chintamani. So this is a sloka I was explaining. This is explanation in detail. It says Chintamani Dham, which is a place which will fulfill all our desires. And the supreme abode of Krishna is called Goloka. It's a palace is made up of touchstone. And trees are called desire tree, supply any type of eatable upon demand. There are cows known as Surabhi cows. We supply limitless supply of milk. It is about the Lord is served by hundreds and thousands of goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. And he's called Govinda, the premier Lord and the cause of all cause. Why is Krishna called Govinda? Put in the chat. Govinda. Lord is accustomed to blow his flute. Venam Kanvantam Aravinda Dayala Daksham. Varhavatam Shamashitam Buddha Sundarangam. Kantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he blows his flute. And his transcendental form is more attractive. His eyes are like Aravinda Dalaya, actually lotus petal. And color of his body is like color of clouds. It is attractive, that his beauty excels that of thousands of cupids. Kantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam. And he wears a saffron cloth and a garland around his neck and a peacock feather in his hair. Yeah, so Govinda means Gopala is the protector of cow. Govinda is, pleasure to the cows. Not only cows, senses, okay? So Krishna is called Gopala. Pala means protector of the cow. And Govinda, Aravinda. Govinda means giving happiness or pleasure. Pleasure to the cows and senses. Go also means Gopas, Gopis, senses, cows. Krishna is Govinda in that too. So that was about the spiritual world. 22nd is how to attain that abode of the Lord. Purusha sa parapata bhaktya labhyasto ananyaya yashyantastani bhutani yena sarvam itam tatam. The Supreme Personality God is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Bhaktya mam vijana. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him. The Supreme Personality God is greater than anyone, right? Matta paradam naniyati, Krishna says, and is attained by unalloyed devotion service, Ananya Bhakti. Krishna is not available for any other way. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated within him. Any example to prove this? That he is present in his abode, but he is all pervading. He is there everywhere. Any pastime, any examples, any pastime from the Shastra to show that Krishna is all pervading. He is in his abode, Goloke Vishyatya Hilatmukuta, but he is there everywhere. Rajalakshmi Mataji.
In Ras Leela, Krishna was present with each and every gopi.
Every gopi. Sharan Prabhu. Any other
Hare Krishna
example?
Mataji. In the Krishna book, we see that when Narad Muni came to visit Shri Krishna, he saw that Shri Krishna was with all the 16,108 wives.
So that
at the
was
same
in
time.
Dwaraka. Yeah. So when Narad Muni went to Dwaraka, Krishna was everywhere. 16,108 palaces. Krishna was there. Sharanya Mataji, any other example?
Mataji in Brahma Vimohana Leela Mataji.
Brahma
He was
Vimohana, yes.
when he took all the cows and Gopalas, Krishna like he came as a cows and Gopalas to every he did not change it.
Yeah, Krishna was there in every house actually. So Neetu Mataji also says Brahma Vimohan Leela. Yes, Rajalakshmi Mataji, any other example?
He was present with Kunti Mata, and when Uttara prayed,
yes,
protect
so
his
the womb of Uttara. So Krishna at the same time entered the womb of Uttara to save Parikshit Maharaj from the Brahmastra of Ashwathama. At the same time, he was in front of Kunti Maharani also. And Santosh Prabhu also says about he was between with his 16,109 queens. Yes, Sharan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, there's one more Leela where Krishna had to defeat a bull, 4 bulls at the same time. So he expanded himself 4 times.
Where?
In the Krishna book, there's one Leela, right? He had to defeat a bull.
Yes.
4 bulls at the same time.
Same time. So Krishna was there, yes. So this is how Krishna's inconceivable potency is. That means Krishna is inside also as Paramatma, outside also. He's there everywhere. Yes, he's present as Paramatma. So Andamdarastha Paramanu Chayandarasam, he's there in every atom. He's there in his Goloka. So when Krishna descends to do his pastime, that doesn't mean Goloka is empty. No, Krishna is there also. Krishna is in Vaikuntha also. He can, that's the inconceivable potency of the Lord. We cannot think about it, but he's there everywhere. The text clearly states that the supreme destination means once you go there, there's no more return. That is Krishna's abode. Lord is all pervading by his spiritual and material energy. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibha Vidapis. So I worship Govinda, the premier Lord, residing in Goloka, but cremated and vitalized by ever blissful spiritual rasa. So although the Lord is always in his supreme abode, he is nonetheless all pervading by his material energy. So how to attain that place? Yashyantasthani Bhudani. That means everything is sustained within Krishna, within his spiritual and material energy. And Bhakti, only Bhakti, devotees can go there. To enter Krishna's abode or any of the Vaikuntha planet, it is possible only by Bhakti. Who are those not devotees? People who just went up to Vaikuntha but could not stay there, had to come back because they were not Bhakti devotees. They were not worshipping the personal form of the Lord. Sharan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, 4 Kumaras will come.
4 Kumaras. Very good. Yes, they were stopped by the Jaya and Vijaya because they were worshipping Brahman. They were Brahmavadis. Even though the sons of Brahma, that 4 Kumaras, the Sanat Kumaras, they were worshipping Brahman, the impersonal Brahman. So they could not enter. Yes. Who else? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Durvasa Muni will come because he kicked at the chest of Lord Vishnu.
Durvasa Muni, yes. Durvasa Muni ran up to Vaikuntha. He went to Kailas. Then he went to Brahma's world. He went to Vaikuntha. He saw Vishnu. But then Lord Vishnu sent him back to fall at the feet of Ambarish Maharaj because he had done Vaishnava Aparad. That means Durvasa Muni, he was a Siddha. He could not enter. He was not a Bhakta devotee. He could not enter the Vaikuntha plans. He had to come back. And someone else who went and stamped at Vishnu's chest. Sharanya Mataji told. Bhrigu Muni, right? So Bhrigu Rishi, he wanted to see who is greatest among Brahma, Shiva and Lord Vishnu. So he went to Kailas and offended Lord Shiva. Then he went to Brahma's world. If there also he offended. But when and they both were angry, but he went to Vishnu's world and he stamped at Lord Vishnu's chest. And then Lord Vishnu came out and said, is your leg all right? because my chest is so hard as a stone. Is your feet all right? So that mark is called as what? Does anyone know that Bhrigu Rishi made a mark on the Lord Vishnu's chest? Yes, Sharan Prabhu?
Is it Srivatsa Mataji?
Srivatsa. So Srivatsa is that mark where the Bhrigu Rishi. So that's a devotee's mark, and it says Srivatsa. So that's a mark where the Bhrigu Rishi. So he could go to Vaikuntha plan, could not stay there. So only Bhaktya, only devotees can enter the Krishna's supreme abode. Till then they can enter the courtyard, but they can't enter the palace, it is said. Only through Bhakti can you enter into this Vaikuntha planets, spiritual planets. So the supreme abode is, the supreme personality God resides in the supreme abode and has millions of planetary expansion. It says the supreme abode and the supreme personality Godhead is the Gopal Tapani Upanishad is also mentioned. The Vedas compare the Lord to a tree bearing many flowers, fruits, and leaves. Similarly, the Lord expands into many planetary expansion. So it says, Golo Keva Nivishyati Akalatma Buddha, means although the Lord resides in the supreme abode, he is all pervading. Parashya Shakti Vivitaiva Suyate. So Supreme Lord, although residing far away, systematically conducts everything in the cosmic manifestation by his all-pervading energy. Okay, so that is 22, and then we'll complete this chapter today. I'll just do till 28. Okay, so once you come here, once you go to the spiritual world, there is no coming back. The spiritual world is full of variety. There's variety actually in spiritual world. There's a speciality, even Radharani, she doesn't repeat a dish. Whatever she cooks, it is different dishes all the time. So that's the spiritual world, the variety in the spiritual world. So 23-28 is the supremacy of pure devotion, that is Bhakti, in attaining Krishna. So why is Bhakti so important? We'll see. So 23-26 is attaining the supreme through mystic yoga. 27-28 is about supremacy of Bhakti. So Bhakti, that's very important here. And how it is important. And Arjuna also asked the same question, right? How can we remember Krishna at the time of death? So how is it possible? So Krishna says about Bhakti. Yatra kale to anavrityam avrityam chaiva yogina prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami bharadarshapa. O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from this world, the yogi does not come back. This is not for devotees, okay? For devotee, it doesn't matter which time of the day or which day or which year or month they passes away, because they are always chanting the Lord's name, remembering the Lord. And if a devotee cannot remember, the Lord says, Aham smarami mat bhakta. Aham smarami mat bhakta. Aham smarami means I will remember my devotee. That's what Krishna promises. So this is for yogis, the Ashtanga yogis and Siddhas, all that, who control their breathing process and elevate the soul. And for them, during when they leave the body during daytime, nighttime, we'll see how is it, where do they reach. Important slokas of unit 2 is not shared. Mataji, whatever is shared from beginning, the slokas to be memorized, same PDF. Aishwarya Mats, please reshare that, the slokas to be memorized. Okay, that list. Okay, so it says that, so Krishna will now explain the different types of death, times passing away from this world. The yogi does not return to this world, but however, a devotee only need to focus on his surrender to the Lord, not worry about the exact time. But it's more glorious if a devotee leaves the body on, or where, or on which day. It's same all the days, but more glorious. In which month, which day. Okay, Ekadashi, very good. Yes. During Ekadashi, if a devotee is about leaving the body on Ekadashi, is very special. Then, so Neetu Mataji says Kartik month, very good. So in the Kartik month or Margashisha month, Kartik month especially, if the devotee leaves the body, it's very, very special. Then, yes, Kusumlata Mataji. Also, any place? Purushottam month, very good. Yes, excellent.
Yes.
That is.
But during the Uttarayan of the sun god, and during the after Amavasya, between Amavasya and Purnima.
Yes, and this Avik Prabhu. Yes,
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Mataji, if a devotee leaves body in a dham,
Yes, in the
could be
dham.
Vrindavan, Mayapur, or any
Yes.
dham, holy places, it is very
Yes.
auspicious.
Yes, so in the dham, but in Krishna, I mean, Prabhupada has given us dham all over the world. So so it's more glorious in Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, all the dham, Dwaraka, and yes, Ekadashi and Kartik Manda Purushottam, yes, all this. But actually, it doesn't matter, a devotee. But I'm telling some special glories on that particular day. So Prabhupada writes, the unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord who are totally surrendered, do not care where they leave their body or what method. And Prabhupada said, wherever Krishna is, that's Vrindavan. So he have given Vrindavan all over the world, in the sense, all the temple, even the house can be made Vrindavan when there is deity worship happening. So Prabhupada says, the pure devotees, they leave everything in Krishna's hand and so easily and happily return to Godhead. But those who are not unalloyed devotees, and if they depend instead on such methods of spiritual realization as Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Hada Yoga, must leave the body at a suitable time in order to be sure of whether or not they will return to the world of birth and death. So can a yogi choose time of leaving? An expert yogi can choose. If he is not expert in choosing, it depends on his accident or destiny. Yeah, association of devotees, and if they are chanting, that's more glorious. Prabhupada had all these. He was in Kartik Dham, Kartik month, he was in Vrindavan Dham. There were association of devotees all around him, and they were chanting. He was translating Bhagavatam, so everything was glorious. Okay, so Kala mentioned is referring to the presiding deity of time. Krishna says, Kalosmi. Okay, so 24 to 26, about the two ways of leaving the body is mentioned. Agnir Jyotir Ahashukla Sanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayada Gachanti Brahma Vido Janaha. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. So that means, so here it is said, for jnanis and yogis, the path of light is auspicious. That light and fire, the influence of sun god and fire god during the day in Shukla Paksha, is what someone said about waxing moon and all. Then Uttarayana, 6 months when sun travels to the north. So, but then where do they go? Brahma Jyoti. But then there is again return, path of liberation, path of no return. That's what they think, because they think, what is it? Vimuktamanina. They think, okay, we are liberated, but it's not like that. They come back. In path of darkness, in night, during smoke, in Krishna Paksha, fortnight of waning of the moon, and Dakshinayana, 6 months when sun travel to south. That's for karmis, they go to heaven. There is rebirth again. But although liberation in principle is path of no return, achieving Brahmajyoti, effulgence from the body of the Lord, jnanis like to return due to lack of spiritual engagement, activity in the devotional service. Okay, so due to lack of spiritual activity or engagement in devotional service, the jnanis will come back, because there is only Brahmananda, there is no Sevananda. So those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial, constantly going and coming, actually they do not attain ultimate salvation, or they do not surrender to Krishna. So 2 ways, yeah, it is saying 2 ways of leaving the body is again mentioned. The traveling to the moon planet, existence of living in the moon planet in the 25th purport, Prabhupada mentions. Dhumoratristata Krishna Sanmasa Dakshinayana Tatra Chandramasham Jyotir Yogi Prapyani Vartade. The mystics who pass away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning of the moon, or 6 months when the sun passes to the south, which is the moon planet, but again come back. So in the third kind of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni mentions that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial method on the earth attain to the moon planet at the time of death. So that means what? There is life in the moon planet also. And what is the lifespan? 10,000 years by demigod calculation. And they enjoy the life by drinking somaras. They eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon, there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses. So in the moon planet also there is life, and there is living entities there, and they drink somaras and they finally return to earth. So conclusion is that Prabhupada writes the purport, mystics who advance in yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident they leave at an auspicious moment, then they will not return to the cycle of birth and death. But otherwise, there is every possibility they will have to return. However, for the pure devotees in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or arrangement. It doesn't matter, because he's remembering Krishna. 27th sloka says, Naitre Sriti Patat, Naite Sriti Patat Jnanan Yogi Mukhyadi Kashana, Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukta Bhavarjana. Although the devotees know these two parts of Arjuna, they never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. So for a devotee, it doesn't matter. It is actually for karmis and yogis and all. That then the time of death, the mind carries one to the new life. So people in general must leave the body at a suitable time to be assured whether or not to be returned to the material. But for a pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning to this world. Whether they leave their body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or arrangement, being fully surrendered soul, they leave everything in Krishna's hands and they easily go to the spiritual world. So path of Annala devotees, that pure devotees can leave their body at any time, okay, for Krishna's. So that's for pure devotees. But what will happen to us? We are neither pure devotees nor karmis, no yogis. We are stuck somewhere in the middle. But don't worry. Krishna says, Aham smarami bhat bhakta. Krishna will never forget any service we have done. So definitely, Krishna will give us Krishna will give us the remembrance to remember him at the time of death, hopefully. And it depends on our affinity towards Krishna, or our attachment towards Krishna. And by Krishna's mercy and Vaishnava's mercy, yeah, even Gurujan's mercy, it will definitely help. Guru will definitely help. He will take care. He actually personally, even remembering Prabhupada, even remembering your Guru also will take you back to Krishna, it is said, because they are also there. And they are there to take us back. So Krishna will take care of it. So we need not worry about returning back. What we have to worry is, how do we practice more sincerely and do our sadhana better and better? So the best way is to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness and to be always devoted in Krishna's service. This will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. The word yoga yukta is especially significant in this verse. One who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. Prabhu Goswami advised, Anasaktasya Vishya Yadabha Upayinchata Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Vichite. One should be unattached to material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this system called Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. So the supreme perfection of Bhakti, the last sloka of this chapter says about the supreme perfection of Bhakti. Vedeshu yatneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pratishtam atyedi tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upayeti charyam. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifice, undergoing austerity, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these, and at the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. So it is saying the path that is given in the Vedic literature. Okay, so Bhakti will surpass all 4 different orders of life, that is Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. But even if we are in any of these ashrama, a Brahmachari has to study the Vedas, that is called Swadhyay, and do austerity and penances. He's trained in celibacy. Okay, all that Vedic study is actually there. So that is how a brahmachari comes to perfection. Grihastha can do sacrifice, charity according to time, place, and person, desha, kala, patrena. And in Vanaprastha, they do severe penances and then sometimes go to forest. Nowadays, they go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, and all that. And then sannyasi, all of them can do bhakti and can surpass all the orders of life. And all of them can go to the elevation of perfectional stage of life. Some are elevated to heavenly kingdom, but don't worry. Again, they come back and can start from where they stop. And when one is further advanced, one gets liberated, right? So mainly we have to go to the Vaikuntha planets or Krishna Loka, not to Brahmajyoti. So beauty of Krishna consciousness is that by one stroke of devotional service, one surpass all the rituals of different ashrama and can directly go. So word idam vitva means one should understand that the instruction given by Krishna in this chapter and the 7th chapter. One should try to understand this chapter not by scholarship or mental speculation, but by hearing them in the association of devotees. So chapter 7 through 12 is actually the basic essence of Bhagavad Gita. That is, we are going through the bhakti part 1 to 6 we have done Karma Yoga. Now 7 to 12, till that Krishna will give importance in Bhakti, 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 because that's the essence of Gita. The first 6 and last 6 chapters are covering the middle 6 chapters because it's especially protected. Like a diamond ring is kept in a box which is protected, or like a sandwich which has the essence in the middle. And if one is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita, especially these middle 6 chapters in the association of devotees, then his life is at once become glorified beyond all penances, sacrifices, charities, and speculations. For one can achieve all the results of these activities simply by Krishna consciousness. So it's very important. The last sloka, Prabhupada gives a very nice purport saying that we should have faith, Shraddha. That's very important. If we have faith in Krishna consciousness, then rest Krishna takes care. If Krishna sees our intense desire to go back, then Krishna captures it. But if we have desires to be in this material world, then we become entangled again and again. So Krishna gives the intelligence, right? Tadami buddhiyogam tam ena vamupiyante tesham satadyuktana bhajadam priti purvakam tadami buddhiyogam tam ena vamupiyante. So Krishna gives the buddhi yoga, the intelligence by which a devotee can go back. Krishna, when the devotee is serious, Krishna as Chaitya Guru or as Paramatma comes out as the spiritual master. And so it's Krishna who's sending the spiritual master. Like, for example, Dhruva Maharaj. When Dhruva Maharaj was so determined to go to the forest, when his mother, like a Shiksha Guru, told him to go to the forest, Krishna sent Narad Muni actually. Actually, Narad Muni was initiating Dhruva Maharaj. Prabhupada writes in the purport that by the giving the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, that is actually the Diksha mantra given by the Diksha Guru. Who sent Narad Muni? Narad Muni didn't hear the conversation between Dhruva Maharaj and Suniti, or didn't hear what Uttanapada, Dhruva Maharaj's father, did, or what the Suruji said to Dhruva Maharaj. He was not there. But Krishna have heard everything. And Krishna saw the determination of Dhruva Maharaj. So that similarly, Krishna will see. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, don't try to see Krishna. Work in such a way that Krishna will see you. So Krishna will see who is this devotee who's doing so much austerities and penances for me. So Krishna will take special care of such devotees. Okay. So so Narad Muni was sent. Similarly, Krishna will send when it's time. Krishna will send the Guru to us. And so some devotees are not able to take initiation because of so many reasons. Husband, wife, some issues at home. Not everybody are devotees. So you'll have some, or in a workplace, you can't get prasadam. So many issues. But don't worry. If you have that intense desire, Tatra laulyam apimulya kevalam kodi janma sukrutana labhyate. If you have, Prabhu Goswami said, if you have that intense desire, Krishna will take care. If not this life, next life you can take initiation. It's a continuous process. It's not like one life. We don't have patience. So many janmas we wasted. Then this one life we are in Krishna consciousness, we want to become pure devotees immediately. We want to go back in this life only. But are we qualified? Do we deserve it? Do we have that qualification? No, we don't check that. So just have that intense desire. It's like you are initiated. You have that intense desire to get initiated. But we should not stop our endeavor. We should try as much as possible in this life only, as soon as possible. But then if it's not possible, Krishna sees the desire. So the whole summary is, the summary of devotional services, Ado Shraddha. Okay, 9 stages of Bhakti: Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. Okay, so Shraddha means what? Faith. Have faith in Bhagavad Gita. So I think this we had as an closed book question, right? Last module. So this, all of you, I hope you know that Shraddha means faith. So you should have faith in Krishna, Bhagavad Gita. That's the starting point. Then Sadhu Sangha. You have to be associating with devotees. Okay, not with mental speculators. Sadhu Sangha, not Asat Sangha. And Bhajana Kriya. You start devotional service like chanting and all that. And Anartha Nivritti, all the misgivings will be gone from you. All the anarthas gets washed away. And Nishta, become fixed in devotional service. So Nishta means fixed in devotional service. And there is Ruchi, that we start relishing the study. And that taste comes. And Asakti, so attached. And then Bhava and Prema. That means the different rasas with Krishna, the Bhava comes. And there is Prema or love. Perfectional stage. And at that stage, we are transferred to Krishna's abode. So where are we stuck here? You can put in the chat. Where are we? Okay, you can put your own situation. Where are you? Are you in Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajanakriya, Nathaniviti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, or Prema? Just analyze, where am I? You can just put, I won't call out your name. Type in the chat, where are you? Are you in Shraddha or in Sadhusanga, in Bhajanakriya, Nathaniviti, Nishtha? Okay, so somebody is in Shraddha. Okay, so good. You have faith. But you're doing sadhusanga, na? You are associating with devotees, right? You are at least online, you're coming and associating with devotees. So you're there, sadhusanga. But you are in bhajana kriya also, no? You are still doing devotional service. You're chanting, right? All of you and studying the Shastra. Anartha Nivarti, good. Yes, so that stage, it's a long stage, long process. Anartha Nivarti. Kama, Krodha, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Malsarya has to be completely washed away from us. And that will take so many janmas actually. So we are in Bhajra Kriya somewhere and Anartha Nivriti is slowly happening. But it takes a lot of life. So most of us get stuck in Anartha Nivriti because all the misgivings have to be gone. All the anarthas have to go from you. Right? So yes, somewhere there. So before Shraddha, there are two stages. Does anyone know? How do we develop that Shraddha? How do we get faith? It doesn't come automatically, the faith in Krishna. There are two things required to have faith in Krishna. What are the two things? Before Shraddha. This will come in your Bhakti Vaibhav actually. Yeah, Bhakti Vaibhav. Just Shruti, Smriti, these are all, you should, Shruti and Smriti is the Vedas and the Shastras, but you should have faith to listen to that, no? Shravanam and association, no, that is coming here, Bhajana Kriya and Sadhu Sangha.
Mataji, mercy from the devotee.
Very good. Mercy from devotee. Who's that?
And we discussed this thing actually previously. So another thing you told, like then we need to do service.
Very good. So that is Mahat Seva and Kripa. Okay. So two things are Satam Kripa. Sorry. Satam Kripa and Mahat Seva. So two things have to be done. First is Mahat Seva. First you have to do service to a pure devotee, Mahat Seva. And then you get the Kripa, Satam Kripa. You get the Kripa or the mercy of the devotees. When you get the mercy of the devotee and you do serve the devotee, automatically Shraddha will come. Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. And Atnyada Sukriti, yes. Atnyada Sukriti means how do you get Atnyada Sukriti? By doing service. You push a bucket of water, the water goes and waters the tulsi. Or by or unknowingly, you fast on an Ekadashi, you get the benefit of taking Ekadashi. So some kind of Atnyada Sukriti is possible by serving pure devotees. Actually, Prabhupada. No? So you can serve devotees and get the Kripa, Mahat Seva and Satam Kripa. Then you get Shraddha. And that Ruchi also comes by that. Shushrusha Shraddha Danasya Vasudeva Kadaruji Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyashlo Punya Tirthani Shevanat Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. You have to do service. Then we will get that mercy. Okay, then the Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajanakriya, everything can happen. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the answer is Satam Kripa and Mahat Seva. Satam Kripa means mercy of a devotee and Mahat Seva means service to the devotees. So by these two processes, you will get the mercy. You will get Shraddha. Okay, Shraddha means Aishwarya Mataji, can you post the attendance link? Anything to add? Any other questions? So these two things has to be done, Mahat Seva and Satam Kripa. Please fill the attendance link. So Satam Kripa and Mahat Seva. So service to the devotees and mercy. So these two things will make us have Shraddha, faith in Krishna. And as we advance in Krishna consciousness, the faith keep increasing. And how the Vasudeva Kataruchi, the taste to hear Krishna Katha also increases. Anything to add? So this 8th chapter, we also have seen Bharat Maharaj's story, right? How Bharat Maharaj. So what mistake did Bharat Maharaj do to be born as a deer. Yes, he thought about the deer. But what was the main mistake he did in these 9 things? Something was missing in Bharat Maharaj, right? What was it?
Krishna Mataji, he was not in the association of devotees, Mataji.
Yeah, he was not in the association of devotees. So Sadhu Sangha was not there. Yes, he thought about the deer and he was compassionate. Just imagine you are alone in the forest and the deer came, the baby deer, and you got so attached to the deer, yet you left your devotional practice. But if you had a friend, a devotee friend, or some kind of Prabhupada's books or lectures or some kind of association, online, offline, anything in the forest, then they will remind you about your devotional service. Even even though you fall in Maya, it can happen, right? Maya can test anybody. That devotee will remind you. But there was no devotee association for Bharat Maharaj. He ran away to the forest alone. So because of that, there was no association. What happened? He fell down. So, and also one was Krishna's plan, because Krishna wanted Bharat Maharaj to become Jada Bharat and gave transcendental advice to Rahuguna Maharaj. So that's the next part of it. But Krishna is showing us example that Sadhu Sangha is so important. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Hoy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Khai. What is lava? How much is lava? I think we have discussed this, right? Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. What was lava? Avik Prabhu? Hare Krishna Prabhu. You can unmute Prabhu. Avik Prabhu. Huh. I can't hear you, Prabhu. What is Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha? Dipti Mataji got it. Moment, Sumina Mataji, moment means how much? Second? A moment, how do you describe a moment? Little association, 1 second. Second is like this. No, lava is not a second also. Lesser than that. Who got it right? Yeah, Dipti Mataji, can you unmute and say?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, 1 by 11th part of second is one lava.
Yeah, 1 by 11th of a second.
But the moment of association with devotees.
It's not just a moment, it's 1 by 11th, okay? 1 by 11th of a second. Not even fraction. Fraction is 1 by 2, right? 1 by 11th. So just see your clock. There's like second, okay? Second is like this. That's it, a second. Now that second, if you divide to 11 parts, 11, that means not this much. Not even this much. I can't even measure that 1 by 11th of a second. That association, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. Lava means 1 by 11th of a second. That association is enough actually to have, but that should be with a pure devotee. Huh? Should be with a pure. That's why when Guru Maharaj comes, when you should definitely go and meet or take darshan, because that association is enough for all the glories in you. So it is very important to have, and that is possible with Prabhupada. Like Prabhupada is a pure devotee. So by listening to Prabhupada's lectures daily, at least make sure I'll hear shorts. Shorts is just few seconds or 1 minute video, right? You need not hear the whole lecture. You can just have a shorts to hear about Prabhupada's voice or lecture, and just read one sloka from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, whichever you can do in Veda base. That's enough, actually, that Lava Matra, but it should be consistent. Every day you should do it. Then, so Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha is enough, but we should be purified. Like if you sow a seed in a rock, it will not fructify, no, the seed. Will it? No. But if it's a nice fertilized land, full of fertilizers, a nice plowed land, a nice water and sunlight, everything is available, the Bhaktilata beach will grow. So it depends on where it is sown and how it is watered and taken care. Then the Bhaktilata beach will grow. Okay. Hare Krishna. I think we can end here. Any other questions? Anything to add in this chapter, the 8th chapter?
Mataji, after this open book assessment will be there?
Yeah, open book. Actually, they are planning to shift the whole exam, everything process in a separate platform. But we'll see. That is for the new batches. But you're already in the second module. So let's see. We can go like this, the open book. So there will be 2 open books in this module, second module. There's after 8th chapter and after 10th chapter. And after 12th chapter, there's a closed book and sloka exam as usual. Any 3 slokas from chapters 7 to 12. Dillala. Okay, so that is important. Devotee association is important. Okay. There is no breakout room today. That's okay. We'll just have a discussion here. So those who want to take initiation, please be in the initiation group.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
One disciple course will be conducted. And then you can start filling the initiation form. Those who have taken shelter. Okay, slowly. Yes,
Hare
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I couldn't mark my attendance. Please, link, please.
It was marked. It was shared. No, it's not there in your chat.
But Mataji wrote to fill the form again. It was not entered properly.
Okay. Please do it properly because it's very important. I've seen devotees who regularly come to class, but somehow their Google form was not filled properly. So they lost attendance. So finally, we see the form only, Google form. We take an Excel, make an Excel sheet from the form and it's uploaded. Then that's sent to Mayapur. So please take care of the attendance because at last don't come running to me saying that Mataji, I attended all the class and this happened, that happened. Because I have multiple batches going on. So I have a super admin who takes care of all the batches. She keeps updating, uploading all your marks and attendance in an Excel sheet, a final Excel sheet and share it to me. So at the end, it should not be a problem. So please mark it properly. Just click. Oh, did I send it to Mataji? I should have sent to everyone. Okay, so please fill it properly. What happens is sometimes before submitting, you leave that page and come to the Zoom. Don't do that. Submit it until it comes. No, it comes now. Your response have been recorded something. So till that you wait. It takes some 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, so that's about Ante Narayana Smriti. That is at the end how Krishna makes a devotee remember him so that the devotee can go back. So many examples, even in Srila Prabhupada's life, so many examples are there where he said that Krishna makes them to go back, remember whatever happened. Okay. So we'll close early today. Okay, no questions. Okay. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you for joining.